everyone. Welcome to another cooking video, or should I say baking video, because today we're going to be baking another cake recipe, one that I found from Pinterest.com. And this cake recipe is called a Brick Street chocolate cake. Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it? Oh yes. We're going to be making that today in our recipe, and I have all the ingredients measured out here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First, we're going to beat the butter and the sugar in a bowl, and we're going to also beat the vanilla in as well. All right, and this is also a great video for those of you out there who want to learn how to bake. This is a recipe for you. So we're going to need 1 cup of butter according to the recipe. So that will be 2 sticks of butter, because as you see, a stick of butter is equal to a half a cup. So we use 2 sticks of butter. All right. So now we're going to beat in 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of butter, and a teaspoon, about 1 1/2 of a teaspoon of pure butter in our pan, in our bowl. So go ahead and mix that in here first. I'm going to go ahead and start creaming the butter a little bit, then I'll add the sugar in there. There we go. Go ahead and add our 2 cups of sugar. Go. Cream that in there. Butter flying everywhere. Wow. All right. Scrape down the sides of our pan. That's another baking tip. Scrape down the sides of your pan. Next, we're going to beat in 3 eggs. And you want your mixture to look like this. So now we're going to beat in our eggs. It's a very easy cake recipe. Very easy. It's very delicious too. Once that's all mixed in there, we're going to add, once all that's mixed in there, we're going to add our cake flour, which is about 2 cups of cake flour. 2 and a half cups of cake flour. Yes, 2 1/2 cups of cake flour. And we're going to add a cup of baking cocoa. And we're going to add, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And 1 box of chocolate pudding mix. And, about 2 1/3 of a cup of buttermilk. Now, and also we're going to add our chocolate chips in here, but we are going to stir these in. We're not going to actually use this to put them in. So, all right, so let's go ahead and mix everything else together. We have our cocoa, baking powder. And we're gonna add in our salt. Very easy recipe. And just go ahead and mix all that in there. This cake will be done in no time. Very easy recipe. So now we're going to go ahead and mix in the flour. Start mixing it in batches. And we're going to go ahead and get our pudding mix. And we're going to mix this in too. Oh, I cannot wait to eat a slice of this cake tonight. So you're gonna add the whole thing in there, just like that. And we're gonna add in our buttermilk, our 2 cups of buttermilk, and then we're gonna put in the rest of our flour. And scrape down the sides of the pan. Add our buttermilk, and then we're going to add in the rest of our flour. Add everything in batches, that way everything can get mixed in real well. Add in our buttermilk. And if you don't have buttermilk, you can substitute, it's called cream of tartar in regular milk. The chocolate cake just came out of the oven. So we preheated our oven to 350 degrees and we let it bake for 60 to 70 minutes. It may get done sooner, so definitely check that out. So also make sure you insert a toothpick or a butter knife or a fork. Insert it, comes out clean, that means it's done. And normally, if I have extra batter left over, I make cupcakes. Yeah, you have them for breakfast. I have them for a little snack with a cup of coffee, milk, or even a cup of tea. Will definitely work. All right, let's go ahead and make the glaze for this cake. Okay, for the glaze, the icing, we are going to need a 1/2 cup of water, which I have here, 1/2 cup of butter, which I have here, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of cocoa, and 3 cups of powdered sugar. 3.5 cups of powdered sugar. All right, first we're gonna go ahead and turn the stove on. And we're gonna mix this in until it's all whipped in there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And then after that, that'll be it. That'll be all the ingredients we have added to our cake. So we have our butter. So we're gonna put that in the pan, let our butter melt. And then we're gonna put all our other ingredients in there. And we're just gonna whisk everything in there as it cooks. All right. So now our butter is melted. I'm going to add our heavy cream. And we're going to add our water. Vanilla. And our cocoa. And then next, we're going to add our powdered sugar. Now, if you don't want this too sweet, I would recommend maybe adding 2.5 cups or just simply 2 cups of powdered sugar. If you don't want it too super duper sweet. I don't want it too sweet, so I'm going to do 1 cup less. So I'm adding 2.5 cups of powdered sugar to this frosting, to the icing of the cake. And then once this is mixed in, it's all done. And then once it's done, you turn the stove off and you let it set for a little while. And then we will drizzle it over the cake. All right. Now we're at the final part of our cake, and that is the drizzle. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to take this here, like this, and just drizzle that on the cake, just like that. Oh, doesn't that look good? And then you're gonna fill the center with this here. So I'm gonna continue to put this on here. See, look at that, look at that. And as this cools down, it will harden. And then you just come over here, just continue to drizzle until it fills the center. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Wow, look at that. And once again, you can find this recipe on Pinterest. Just type in Brick Street chocolate cake. And I had this cake a couple years ago, and I'll tell you, it is delicious. All right, time to cut the cake. And watch this lava fall out of here. All right, let's see. I'll cut it right here. Uh-oh. It's getting ready to fall out. Ready? Uh-oh. Here it goes. Wow. Yes. Say hello to Brick Street chocolate cake. And then if you want some more of that frosting, you just scoop some more up. You can serve this with ice cream. Have a little vanilla ice cream with it. Or just have it by itself with a cup of coffee. Or cup of tea. And look at that good old cake. It looks delicious and very tasty. Once again, this recipe is on Pinterest. Try it at home. Mmm, so good.